Jason Lloyd, Akron Beacon-Journal. One thing I guess that kind of got overlooked this morning, you're in line to coach the AllStar Game. So without ever coaching a game, just kind of your thought, it's kind of a strange situation, but your thoughts on that?
You know, I talked to PJ about it this morning, and I told him I think Coach Blatt should coach it.
Really?
Yeah, NBA's been trying to work around some different things for the AllStar Game, and you know, he's done a great job here. You know, we're first in the East, and I think it'd be sweet if Coach Blatt can coach the AllStar Game one last time.
Is that realistic at all, you think?
I don't know.
Coach Tom Withers, Associated Press. This morning you were talking about how the big three, I think you were speaking to specifically, need to sacrifice. They know they're not going to get their shots. Shouldn't that group be beyond that point? I know there's been some interruptions with injuries and things like that, but shouldn't they be past that by now? Well,
I've been with a few big threes in my career, and it's just, you know, when Kevin Garnett, Ray Allen, and Paul Pierce came together, it was late in their carear, so they had to win a championship now. And I think with our young stars, with Kyrie and with Kevin, you know, they're young, so you know it's still about, you know, their brand and different things, and it's just way different. And I gotta get those guys to understand that it's about winning. Nothing's over winning. So just putting those guys together, know it's going to be sacrifice, and know I have to do a better job of getting those guys to sacrifice.
Casey Johnson with the Chicago Tribune. Coach, I know you talked about this a little bit this morning, but what specifically did you learn from Phil Jackson in your time with him?
With Phil, I just always learned that he was poised. Never got rattled. I think, you know, just looking at him as being a player and as being a coach now, that when you're frantic and you're up yelling and you're up screaming, it makes your team nervous. And Phil was just, he teach and yell and scream in practice, but when we got to the game, you know, he let you figure it out yourself. So I learned that a lot of patience.
Would that kind of be your style a little bit, do you think?
I think so, yes. I mean, I'll yell and scream if I have to, but for the most part, I want to just, you know, let these guys play. I'm not really worried about right now this early about the games. I'm really just worried about our spirit is more important than anything. Getting our spirit right, getting our spirit together, and I think everything else will take care of itself because we got a lot of great players.
Tony Cartagena, ESPN Cleveland. Coach, a whirlwind, I can't imagine, of past 24 hours. What's changed for you, and how are you feeling with the adjustments, and specifically like your pregame routine and responsibilities, really? Well,
I think I had to change phones. I had 800 and some text messages, so that would be the first change. It was just overwhelming, but a lot of supporters, you know, people who know me, who I've been around for a long time. And just to change as far as, you know, coaching, everything's pretty much the same. You know, I'm still upstairs with the group of guys I was with in Jim Boyle and Larry Drew, you know, Brad Brillmeyer. So, I mean, it's not really changed outside the media and the press.
Ty, Chris Fedor, Cleveland.com. Going back to your experience in Boston with the Big Three, we talked with Doc about this the other night, saying that he found himself counting how many shots Ray was getting, Kevin, Paul Pierce. Do you feel like being around that Big Three sets you up for success or allows you to fit with this group of guys just because of that experience?
Well, I think so. I just think, you know, the biggest thing was Kevin Garnett. As soon as he came in, they tried to make a big deal about whose team it was. Is it Paul's team? Is it his team? And he nipped it in the bud right away. Said, this is Paul Pierce's team, and I'm just here to help. And when you have a guy like that that sacrifices like that, who's a great player himself, you know, it's tough. And I was telling the guys this morning about, you know, an article I read about Dwayne Wade, you know, in Miami. And he just talked about, you know, the first year they lost, you know, if you remember, it was about who's going to take the last shot, LeBron, whose hands the ball going to be at the end of the game. And the second year, D-Wade said, you know what, I had to remove myself. I had to stand in instead of stand out. I had to turn the team over to LeBron in order for us to win. And you got to think about that. That's real sacrifice for a guy who's won a championship. It was Wade County. And then have to turn the keys over to LeBron James when it's already your team. You won a championship and a Finals MVP. So, you know, that's real sacrifice.
I was going to ask, sometimes, I'm sorry, Jeff Shudell, News Herald. Sometimes when there's a coaching change, you see players differently, but then they refer to their old ways.
Yeah.
So how difficult will it be to maintain these changes you want?
Well, I think we have a great team, and I think if, you know, guys are not going to buy in, you know, I think we got a good team where we can mix things up. Like I told you earlier, we can go small, we can go big, we can put a defensive unit, we can put an offensive unit. So I just think like I said about it earlier, it's not really about the games early on. I just think it's more about our spirit and playing the right way and playing hard and being who we are.
Joe Varden, Cleveland.com. Ty, we rushed through this part this morning. When it comes to questions of the lineup, I'm interested who you like at center between Tristan and Timofey to start, and then there's the issue of JR or Iman, at shooting guard. Are you different from David on either of those, or what are you thinking there?
Well, we talked about the same plan as David, Coach Blatt had. It was just, with Timo and Tristan, I think it's going to be a game-to-game situation. I don't want Tristan to play and bang against big guys like Dwight Howard and Lopez. And if it's certain lineups where they have smaller guys and shooting fours, then we want to go with Tristan. So it's going to be probably game-to-game with those two guys. With JR, I think he's done a phenomenal job. I think every night he takes a defensive challenge. We put him on the best player every night, and then Brian kind of guards the guys at the end of the game. And JR's done a fantastic job for us at doing that. So I think as of right now, it's going to stay the same.
Ty, Rick Nolan from the Gazette. You've mentioned spirit a couple times and getting it right. Why isn't it right now? And if 60-win pace isn't enough for it to be right, what can you do to get it right?
I don't know. I'm just gonna keep trying. You can't be mad when you win. You can't be mad when you lose. I mean, when you win, no matter if you have 2 points, and if you have 2 points or whatever, we win the game, you should be happy. So I just want to talk to the guys about our spirit. Like we win a game, you can't be down and disappointed about your shots and your points and things like that.
So to follow that up, are these guys having enough fun playing basketball right now?
I don't think so. I don't think they're enjoying it. And that's a part of my speech today. The game will pass you by. No matter how great LeBron is, Kyrie, and Kevin, the game will pass you by. In 20 years, only time they'll be recognized or talked about if it's a record they have or if it's a comparison. And I want them just to enjoy the moment now. It's a long journey, I know, and we got a lot of young guys and they don't really understand that. But the game will pass you by. And all I know is basketball, and I'm pretty sure a lot of those guys in the locker room all they know is basketball. So they have to enjoy it.
We'll go with the last two. Jason here, and we'll finish up with
Jason Lue, Acme General. Sorry to revisit this again, but the whole All-Star thing, are you open to coaching it if they say no, it has to be you? Are you open? I mean, would you pass on it, or are you open to doing it?
I'm open to do it because I think the rest of our staff deserves it. We all put in hard work, and we've all helped Coach Blatt in every way we could, and he was our leader. But if they wouldn't let him do it, I think it's deserving that our coaching staff, should be able to do it.
Okay, thanks.
Yeah.
last one here, Chris.
Chris Haynes, Cleveland.com. Coach, did I do something wrong?
No, you good.
Oh, okay. Chris Haynes, Cleveland.com. I would imagine there would be a lot of emotions, a lot of adrenaline on this first game as you at the helm. Do you view that as a negative or a positive? And if you view it as a positive thing, if they get emotionally into the game, how can that be?
I view it as a positive. Like I said, I want to have emotion. I want to have fun. I want to be, jacked up and juiced up. So whatever expense that may cost us, I don't really care about that. As long as we're playing hard, playing together, enjoying the game, I think we have enough talent to work everything else out.
Can that be sustainable and not just the first day of you at the helm?
Yeah, that's the problem we've been having. So I have to keep trying. Coach Blatt kept trying. I have to keep trying. And like you said, it's a tough unit. It's a tough unit, and I know we have to. We need more ball movement offensively. But we have two great isolation players, of Kyrie and LeBron. So it's a fine line, like I talked about earlier. But I think we'll be okay.
We have one last one, Dave.
Dave McManamy, ESPN. I know it's been a whirlwind 24 hours, but have you had any chance to reflect and think back your basketball journey that's led to this moment, to being a head coach in the NBA?
I actually did. Me and my cousin talked about it today, and it's been one heck of a ride. I came into the league playing with Kobe and Shaq and playing for Phil Jackson, playing with Jordan and playing, so it just has been a blessing. I can't describe it any other way. Things that just always seem to happen and work out for me. So, like I said, I'm truly blessed, and it's an honor, to be here today. Outside the loss of Coach Blatt, but it definitely is an honor and show that people have trust in me to try to get a job done. We have one common goal of winning the championship.